Welcome to the real Monster D. That would be me. And today we are going to talk about the Valley of Gwangi.
Gwangji.
That great Ray Harryhausen dinosaur western extravaganza. Yes. And today, right now, I'm going to share with you my personal 5 favorite things about this joyous, fun movie, an absolute classic must-see. Yes. Number 1 would be the way the film starts, which is with, or rather how the action starts, which is with, of all things, a tiny, innocent-looking, adorable miniature horse. The Eohippus. This little creature, when first revealed in sort of the back walls of this small traveling rodeo circus, is so adorable and so just lifelike and captivating. This entire film could have been about this horse. They could well have named the horse Gwangji, and we could have followed it on its epic journey to find its way home back with its family, and that would have been enough. But this little creature, in a way, starts off the film with almost a false tone, because you think it was going to be this sort of sweet, kind, cuddly thing. If you, of course, did not see the trailers or the posters or anything before, then you might possibly stumble in not expecting the great toothy horror that awaits later on.
Gwangji.
Sort of like what Gizmo was to Gremlins way later on. So yes, I love the miniature horse. Number 4 is the Pteranodon, and not just the flying stop-motion Pteranodon. What I really love is the great life-size model of the Pteranodon that is actually interacted with. It's lifelike, just huge size, and quite a bit of attention to detail, which is placed upon it with skin and everything else. So, as amazing as Harryhausen's stop-motion work is in this film, that is not the only effects star here. No. There's some great compositing shots here, as well as some great camera work and cinematography. And yes, this great big lifelike dummy, if you will, is no dummy creation at all. I love it.
Gwangji.
Number 3 is to start off with the star of the picture himself, Gwangji.
Gwangji.
I love what they did with Gwangji's size, which is actually very little. They kept him within a fairly realistic constraint of an Allosaurus' actual size. They did not scale him up past skyscraper size, which was not needed anyway, considering this whole tale takes place in smaller buildings. So they really enhanced this creature's ferociousness and took advantage of the scale that it was at, not being afraid to show it right next to the cowboys, the horses, even right next to an elephant for a certain sense of scale. So I appreciate that they really did not need to exaggerate its proportions so much to still bring it to frightening life.
Gwangji.
Next thing I love about this film is Gwangji's own personality. I mean, his personality may seem quite limited to chasing, biting, snapping, but I love the exaggerated animations that are put into giving this creature its own life. I mean, he has this almost permanent, exaggerated snarl that goes beyond a basic skeleton. Nothing flat there. So that already gives him this sort of villainous tinge. And also, I love the way the tail flicks and slithers as this creature walks. And even just minor details that Harryhausen incorporates into the animation, such as this creature stopping to scratch its nose, really gives it a sense of life. So I appreciate that.
Gwangji.
And the final thing that I love the most about Valley of Gwangi is that there is absolutely no explanation for how dinosaurs and miniature horses appeared in the middle of the desert. There was no atomic bomb drop that woke them up. This was no traveling movie to some far-off island that was somehow isolated from the Ice Age and the comet. This was no underground cavern or alternate planet, no time travel. It is just that valley over there is cursed with dinosaurs. The end.
There's a big lizard back there and he's heading this way. Now get aboard!
Nobody ever saw a pteranodon flying overhead or going out of its apparently very small territory. It's just the cowboys, the characters, ride on into this valley one day and there are dinosaurs there. No explanation. And there is none needed because this movie is fun! Fun, fun, fun from start to finish. So, if you're looking for a rip-roaring, rollicking western with dinosaurs galore, look no further than Valley of Gwangi. Are you ready for a stomping good time? Well, join me, Monster D, as I join forces with 3 Dots and the Spot for the Monster Stomp Shop. Learn how to behave like a giant monster, don your very own kaiju costume, and then stomp on up to our cityscape photo booth for the full kaiju photo experience. Today, I would like to talk about the band Saxon. They are a classic, new wave of British heavy metal band, a very influential band in the ways of traditional heavy metal and even thrash metal, right alongside the likes of Iron Maiden and Raven and so many other of their United Kingdom ilk. But I have a strange question to ask today. What if Saxon were a country band instead? Oh, this might sound like a preposterous question, but actually, as it turns out, the band has dabbled quite a few times in this other musical genre, and I'm going to take you through a list of 5 songs that showcase just that. First off, on their album Killing Ground is the song Coming Home. This song is kind of a funky sort of a country tune in the style of a band like the Tractors. So it has this chugga-chugga and this real almost boogie-woogie feel to it. And it's all about the classic hardships of traveling on tour. But amidst the chorus, it talks about coming home on that lonely road. Just classic country lyrics, indeed. And next, we have on the album Dogs of War, the song Don't Worry. This song is a lot closer to being more like modern country, almost bro country, but without so much beer references. In fact, this song is so twangy and twisty and windy, despite its metal sort of false start, that, to be honest, if Carrie Underwood herself did a cover of the song, I doubt very many people outside of diehard Saxon fans would even notice. And the next song I have also happens to be on the Dogs of War, and that song is Big Twin Rollin'. Yes, this song harkens more back to the late 80s and early 90s country, when it was really going through that sort of country rock period with some blistering guitars, right along with the fiddles and that sort of thing. Not that there are fiddles here per se, but this is a song that is fast enough they would feel quite at home being played by Dwight Yoakam and his band, or perhaps even a Chris Ledoux, or maybe a more energized Alan Jackson. It would fit right within that ilk right there. Oh, and also on Dogs of War, yeah, that is right, a third track. Huh. This makes me wonder if they were trying to turn Dogs of War into an actual country album. I wonder. But this third track is called The Great White Buffalo. And yes, it is named after and very much about the 1977 fantasy western film of the same name. Amazing. So this is a song that goes all the way back to the roots of country western. Really telling a tale of being out there on the plains with this mysterious creature. And the last song I have on my list is actually Saxon recovering their old song Coming Home. This one is called the Bottleneck version, and it appears on the album Into the Labyrinth. And if you listen to this version, oh, they go out of their way to crank the twang up to 11. Going out of their way to show you, we know, despite our metal roots, how to do country. We know how to kick those cowboy boots as well. So what do you think about that? Have you heard these songs before? Do you think that Saxon might be a little more, popularly known? Had they gone into the realm of country instead? Perhaps. I mean, I love them just as they are, and I love the content they have put out, but sometimes it is fun to just stop and consider what might have been had they chosen a different direction. Let me know your country comments down below. Are you ready for a stomping good time? Well, join me, Monster D, as I join forces with 3 Dots and the Spot for the Monster Stomp Shop. Learn how to behave like a giant monster, don your very own kaiju costume, and then stomp on up to our cityscape photo booth for the full kaiju photo experience. Welcome to the drawing challenge. In light of the Wild West adventure we just talked about, I thought today I might take 2 concepts and combine them. I want to draw for you today a dinosaur, but not just any dinosaur, a cowboy dinosaur. Yes, that is right. So, here is my time-telling device. And we have begun. A cowboy dinosaur. What do you think about that? Let me see. Let me change up the species here a little bit. I know everyone would probably assume that I would go the T-Rex route, and a part of me wants to, but I, again, like to change some things up. So, let me go with a different dinosaur. Alright, let's see. So, a cowboy dinosaur. Now, just imagine if a cowboy dinosaur rolled up on the cowboys who already had their hands full with just the non-cowboy types of dinosaurs. Alright, so there we go. Let me see. Alright, I will come back to that in a moment. Alright. It's going to be a very cool, slick kind of a dinosaur with that hat. The type of dinosaur that takes no guff from anyone whatsoever. Alright. This Cowboy Dinosaur, I think, is going to live for the law. Let's see. All right. I'm going to give him a holstered sort of weapon here. There we go. I'm almost giving him those classic Last Dinosaur Triceratops legs with someone perhaps inside the sort of dinosaur suit walking him. But I'm going to diverge just a little bit from that and give him the boots. Some spurs. Now, this creature already sort of looks like a walking, sort of a riding animal, so I do not know who or what the spurs would be aimed after. Feel free to use your imagination. Feel free to tell me what you think about that. It's all just aesthetic at this point. Alright. Aesthetic, aesthetic, aesthetic. All about the cowboy, dinosaur, aesthetic. So before this episode, had you seen the Last Dinosaur? Is there another classic dinosaur movie that you enjoy? I would love to hear all about it. Maybe you can tell me of a dinosaur that I have yet to hear of. As many great dinosaur movies as I've seen, there are quite a few I'm sure I've missed, because there's so many dinosaur movies out there. One can only keep so much of an eye on the likes of Redbox and Tubi, right? Alright, so there we go. Give this guy some shadow. Give him some drama. I'm just going to go ahead and shade out that other back leg there. Alright. Oh, there we go. Not bad. Alright. Alright, so, sign. And what do you think about that? Do you think this, let me see, shall I call him Tristone? Or shall I call him Tricera Erp? Go ahead, give this dinosaur a name for me. Oh, I was going for a little, like a weed that he pulls from the ground. You ever see that old cliche? So, yeah, there we go. What do you think about that? Do you think he can rustle up some prehistoric cowpokes? Some Cretaceous cowpokes? Well, I hope you enjoyed this drawing challenge as well as the video entire. If you did, please do scratch that like button and toll that bell so you can be ready, willing, and salivating for the very next episode of The Real Monster D. Stay monstrous! Rawr! Ha 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 ha!